Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a wheel swap on this Volkswagen Golf MK1 from Matchbox. Oh, we need more light. There you go. Look at the details in the front. I'm not very fond of the color here, but it does look appropriate for the year. Rabbit, got the little rabbit over here. It's got one of those non-flat bases, so to do a proper wheel swap, it's not going to be an easy project. I'm going to drill it apart. We'll see what happens. Alright, I'm back. So I tapped it so I can install my 256 button head screw. Now remember, all the links to everything that I use is always on the video description. I have a video on how to drill the cars apart, but basically the trick is make sure you drill deep enough. Oh, there it goes, there's a car. So make sure you drill deep enough, that way when you use your 256 tab, there it is, I don't know if you can see it, you won't have any problems. Now these tabs, they tend to have they tend to be pointy, and for something like this, if you drill deep enough, it's not going to be a problem. But something that has a short post, you might have to start with something like this original, and then you need to have another one, a spare one that you modified and cut the tip off. Because basically all this section right here, it's not big enough for the screw. It'll cut a thread but not big enough for a screw. So as you can see, this one is modified. And I also used this Dremel adapter, or you can use anything that you have. Clean around the poles here, make sure the base or the chassis goes back without any without having to put any pressure on it. And oh, I forgot my flat tip screwdriver. Let me get it. so I could open this up. All right. Like I've mentioned before, I don't like to break these. I want to make sure the axle doesn't bend, because I most of the time I reuse that axle, so I don't want to bend it. There you go. Now I don't even have the wheels ready, but I know this hump right here is gonna be a problem. So I need to make it flat. So I have this sanding block here, and I'm gonna be here for a while, and I'll be back. All right, I am back. Check it out. Took a while, but nice and flat. All right, next step, put the windshield. I've selected the wheels that I want to use. Monoblocks, low profile tires. And this is why it's important to put the interior, because now I can see somewhat of the stands, and I can see that this is going to be in my way. So gotta cut it out. If it's in your way, you gotta cut it out. And I'm gonna use the Dremel. Give me a minute. I don't need any of this, so might as well remove it. You can see how easy it is using the Dremel. I'm gonna do the front and I'll be back. All right, 3 hours later. Check it out. Look at that stance, baby. So it took about 3 hours because I decided and not to record anymore, because it was just gonna take too long. So let's take it apart so you can see what I did. So I used the original axles, cut them to size, and then I crimped one of the ends using Predator here. It's a fencing plier. You get to use it to crimp the axles, original axles. It'll work. I also used a small piece of polystyrene here to lift the axle, which makes the car looks lower. I had to do a bit of surgery here to get the perfect stance. Here in the front I had to go even lower, as you can see here. If you go back on the video, you'll see that previously this part was not sanded down. I had to do that. I had to reinforce this area here with some Gorilla Gel glue, and then I used some accelerator because it got too thin and it was, filmy, here in the front you can see I had to cut a groove for the post, and I don't know if you saw this before, but you got the 3 here: gas, brake, and clutch. So this has a manual transmission, just so you know. Here inside, I cut all this out, make sure I had a nice groove here, and here in the casting, using the Dremel, I ate away here just to have clearance for the tires so they wouldn't rub. That took 3 hours, because when you do something for the first time, you're just doing little step at a time, so you don't want to overdo it, because once you cut something you can't come back to it. For example, here, look, you see how this here grooves like this and here it doesn't? That means I need to use my X-Acto, because the tire is rubbing here. See, let me get it, I'll be back. All right, so if you have a very sharp X-Acto, this is not that difficult. Once you put it together, you gotta check all these little details. Now we have perfect clearance. Let's see, might have a little problem on this corner over here, but that's it. Should be good now. I didn't have to go this deep, but I want to make sure that the tire did not rub. And there it is. Another not so simple wheel swap. And maybe you noticed that I'm using shorter screws. This is something I notice. If I tighten it too much, you see how it gets crooked? That might be because since I sand it down, it's weak and it tends to flex. So just find something like that. Don't tighten the screw all the way. It should be good right there. And there it is, guys. Got a perfect roller, no wobbly. That's another thing you gotta watch out for when you do these wheels up like this. Make sure that one of the sides is not too high or too low. That'll cause the car to wobble. So that's gonna be it. Hope you liked it. Let me see if I can get you a closer look. Here it is. All right, that's enough of the playtime. Peace out.